You want to know how to defend? I hear you. So here are my top 5 tips to help you get good as a defender. My first tip is about positioning. Positioning is the key to winning fights in due process. Being able to ambush or flank an enemy can be the difference between winning and losing a round. Your goal as a defender is to be unpredictable, meaning you'll place spots where people won't check or hold cheeky angles. Doing this allows you to get the drop on an opponent and finish off the round with a cheeky kill. Another thing to note about positioning is to know your way out of a bad situation. I often see players barb an exit of a room they plan to use to get back to site. This can often get you killed. I am guilty of this too. If I know I'm playing a bad spot, I will often play to die, but do as much damage as possible. This is to help my team out further later on in the round. The second tip I will go over is about counting utility. This may seem like a silly thing, but economy is limited, and counting things like flashes, charges and clackers, even nades, can help with knowing what to expect in the coming round. If you know they are low on flashbangs for the rest of a round, you can use this to your advantage by being able to push and flank your opponent so that they will never know where you are. Counting things like saber shots is also a good idea, as you'll know when to peek or when to hide from said player. A saber can hold 7 rounds, 8 if they have reloaded, so often you'll count 7 and then maybe try and peek or rotate to another piece of cover so that you stand a better chance later on in the round. The third tip I have is about managing utility. As tempting as it is to bring Barb and Molly, sometimes it's best to go light on a map you don't expect to win, or a map where there are a lot of longer angles such as Factory. I often find a lot of new players pick up both Barb and Molly every round, and that can leave you short in the later rounds, where it may be needed more. To counter this, usually 3 Barb and 2 Mollys are a good shout, as you need to budget the utility you have for 3 rounds. This goes hand in hand with weapons and ammo. Taking both Auto and Morp on the same map could leave you short on power weapons where they could be used better. Taking either of those weapons with full ammo on any round other than the last one in the half is silly, as the attacking team will use those weapons against you, and Morp on attack is not what you want to see. Tip number 4 is about playing around your team. Your team are everything in due process. Not only are they going to allow you to win rounds, but together you can do them effectively and efficiently. Setting crossfires and angles to help support a player could save their life and mean a player advantage in a tough situation. One thing to avoid is blocking a teammate off with barbed wire. I have seen this be done so many times, and it's frustrating not only to the player, but can also cost the round. To avoid this, communicate where you are placing a barbed wire and let them know that you are either placing it there or telling them that you will be barbing it later on in the round. Another tip is to save weapons you know players prefer. Picking up a NAC over a KR is silly in its own right, but the KR is generally preferred over NAC, so saving it is the logical choice. If, however, you are on the receiving end and wish a weapon of your choosing on the ground, a good idea is to ping it, as well as let the player know where exactly that weapon drop is. My last and final tip is about knowing when to be aggressive. Learning what situations require you to be aggressive and passive is a useful skill, and one that is only learned through experience. Being able to make a judgment call on when to go on a flank or push an enemy will leave them with their heads between their legs and running the wrong way. Often, peeking around a corner with a shotgun, picking off one guy and running back to site not only makes the attackers panic, but they also lose a man, meaning utility is lost on the floor, saving time as a defender. When being aggressive, you want to be as unpredictable as possible, so crouching and running around throws them off and can give you as a defender the advantage. Doing this is not only funny to watch them sporadically spray their weapons, but also miss a lot of shots, meaning they have to conserve ammo when it comes to pushing the rest of your team. Spawn peaks are an effective method at dealing a lot of damage and possibly getting an early kill, though unlike games like Siege where you are able to run out of the building, due process is a little bit more harsh on those defenders. So you want to be positioned by a window or an entryway where you know that they're going to be coming from, and just to peek out ever so slightly, maybe do some damage or even get a kill if you're lucky enough. Though I would not recommend doing this all the time, as not only are they predictable, but they are also frustrating when they go wrong. If you have been playing aggressive all game, they are most likely to expect a spawn peek, even if they have done it themselves. However, if you are playing passive and then go for a spawn peek, that will certainly throw the attacking team off and land you in a very, very good position. I'd suggest if you are doing something like this, Factory is one of the best maps where I can recommend doing it. Taking a Morp or even a Legros here can give you an easy kill if they are not paying attention. Anyway, those are my 5 tips to get good as a defender. If you liked or enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. Also, leave a comment below telling me what you enjoy about G-Process, or even better, tell me what you would like to see within the game. Remember, you can always catch me live over on twitch.tv/feedmachines, where I'm able to answer any and all questions related to G-Process and its community. Peace out.